Gerry, Marla, and I went out to the back 40 to Snowshoe with Gerry's youngest son, Ben, his girlfriend, Carrie, and their two jumbo dogs, Aries and Apollo. For most of the crew, it had been the first jaunt out into the snow all year, so breaking in new trail through freshly fallen, powdery snow was a wonderful experience, and a great workout. While we sported several different types of snowshoes, we were still all afforded a decent amount of flotation, especially in comparison to the two stilt-legged pups, who both constantly found themselves misstepping into some very deep snow. The view was both bright and breathtaking, and I was very glad for my sunglasses, even though we had a fairly dreary day without direct sunshine. We waddled our way across the field and through the forest trails on our way to what we call the Secret Beach. I think the name speaks for itself. We found ourselves at the trailers and took a little rest so the crew could catch their breaths. The dogs could gallivant about, and I could set up the next shot before we continued to press on back into the woods. Eventually, I gave up the ghost as camera operator and broke the illusion of cutting fresh trail by showing my back and forth pathway to set up a shot. The forest was too dense at this trailhead to get through the trees with my snowshoes. It was very nice of the group to break new trail beside my original track, and while they marched onward, I hung up my coat by my trailer, as it had gotten quite toasty, something I would pay for later on in the day. Aries and Apollo were quite taken with burying their faces in the snow and chasing after sticks. It seemed they just couldn't help themselves. As I was following the crew from afar, I came across some rather large moose tracks that had clearly been made sometime before the fresh snow. It always makes me smile to know that there is so much diversity of life in the forest.
Anything to say, Gerry?
I think over there is going to be the tent, right where we built that fire pit a year ago. We just have to make sure we don't build it on the fire pit.
Anything else to say?
I'm having fun.
So what should people do?
Get the fun outside.
Once we arrived at the secret beach, we scouted out some dead standing trees, got the dogs running around, and began tamping down the area with our snowshoes in order to make a usable pad for the canvas tent that we'll be setting up this coming week. While we are expecting more snow between now and then, having a decent packed area to work with will make the camp setup a bit more workable and stable as well. decided to brave crossing the creek, while Ben sent Apollo over to assist him. Neither fell through, but with the way the winter has been, no matter how small a body of water, we're still fairly cautious about crossing over ice. You should be too. You can't get the fun outside when you're suffering from hypothermia. Gerry spotted a few more dead-standing trees before crossing back over the creek and starting on the way along the trail back to the cars. As we passed the trailers again, Gerry grabbed a sled to make our journey into camp this week a bit more productive. Once we got back out to the field, I realized my coat was still hanging by my trailer, so I doubled back while everyone continued on their way to the cars to get snowshoes off and the dogs home. Marla came back out to snap some pictures of the beautiful scenery while she waited for me to return. And then we headed on home to change before joining back up with the family for a delicious cup of hot apple cider. Thanks, Carrie. It wasn't a long journey, but it was good to break trail to our campsite ahead of time and scout out the lay of the land. And, as always, it was great to get the fun outside.
Yep.